Hi, it's Kelly, and I think it's time we make a really important cultural shift, and I hope you'll join me in pushing this, advocating for this wherever you can. And it's a really simple concept that we've applied in other situations for a long time, and that is no means no. And here's the context. If I'm checking out at a store and they ask me for my phone number or for my member's card or to sign up for their rewards, and I say no, that is never where the conversation ends. They always continue with, oh, but you could get, oh, but we're doing, oh, but what about this? Oh, da 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 da. And I am so tempted from now on to just say very plainly, no means no, and walk out the door without the things I was going to purchase. I want people to understand that no is not a negotiation point. And the funniest way that this happens is there's a clothing store that I actually get a lot of my clothes at. I'm there quite frequently. Whether or not I want a $5 off coupon is irrelevant to me shopping there. And every time they ask me for my phone number and I say no, they go, well, if you need to return something, you're going to have to bring the receipt. And I want to just say, yeah, I'm 41. I've been doing that for the last 30 plus years and it's been fine. It's as if we have this new way of being that everything has to be digital, and if it's not, it's somehow wrong. Same thing for grocery stores. Okay, well, do you want our membership card? Do you want this? Do you want to sign up? I mean, one time I was traveling and I was getting a manicure, and they made me put in my name, my phone number, and my email. You bet your ass I put in fake name, fake email, and fake phone number because I don't need a text message from you following up on a manicure. And at a manicurist that's 4 states away from where I live, I'm not going to pop in for a special. All that I needed to do was exchange my money today for your service, and that's the end of the relationship. And I find that a lot of tech sites or these anything revolving around communication, or they say that their accounts are really like a community focus. No, it's an ad platform. But they're some of the worst. Every time I log on to WhatsApp or Signal or Instagram, they're like, hey, can we send you notifications? And I say no because I value my sanity and my time. And instead of saying, okay, cool, we'll note that because we're a tech company and we know how to save your interests. We know that enough that if you lingered for 5 extra seconds on a video because you were distracted by something in the real world, we're going to serve you that video until the end of time. No, they say, all right, we'll ask you again tomorrow. Okay, we'll check in later. No means no, whether in a physical setting or digital one. And it makes sense when you understand that some of these guys in the tech world who created these apps come from a culture where no means no doesn't penetrate their brain in social settings. For example, if you go to a bar and you hit on someone and they say no thank you, or I'm not interested, or I'm already in a relationship, or whatever their reason is, they could just say no, they don't want to talk to you or go out with you. That guy takes it as a signal to push harder, to try harder, to convince more. And that kind of attitude around personal relationships and sexual situations has now been kind of infiltrated into all these other areas of your life. Where if you go to get a haircut and you don't want to set up a profile, you're the weird one. I remember hearing a comedian talk about this where they were like, well, we need a profile for your haircut. He's like, what's going to be on the profile? I want it shorter. Why do we have to have technology involved in this? And the reason is so that they can start to understand how often you get your hair cut, and then they can send you a coupon, they can lure you back to their location, instead of simply having a great service that you want to come back to. And I know this is good marketing, right? It's good to share your promos. But when there's no that your business will accept, you are like on my shit list. So I just want to get people aware of this so that you can say when somebody starts pressuring you, no, I said no and I meant it. And I know that there are circumstances where the person who is, checking you out has been told by their managers or been told by corporate they need to do this. I mean, I worked in a video rental store, which for younger folk, that's where you used to drive to a store to pick out a movie if they had it in stock, rent that DVD, and then take it home and watch it before returning it 3 days later. And we were told all the time, okay, this week you got to push popcorn. And it was so annoying because I'm like, sure, please spend $3 on a tub of popcorn instead of probably eating the popcorn you have at home. And so I would kind of do it in a way, especially with my regulars, where I would say, and for this week's special, would you like any popcorn? No? Okay, let's keep going. Or I would say, we do have popcorn and candy on special today if you'd like to check anything out. And I also knew that if those people had kids, they would glare at me. And I would just simply say, my managers asked me to remind every one of our guests that today we also have this on offer. And then they knew, and I knew, that this wasn't something I was pushing because I was obsessed with getting them to buy a Butterfinger. It's that this is something the corporate is making us do, and if enough people complain or push back, maybe they'll change their mind. Unlikely, corporate never listen to people on the front line. But if you are a frontline worker, there's two ways to solve this. One, someone says no, say, all right, let me know if you change your mind, move on with the transaction. Because a lot of times they stop checking you out. They stop putting your clothes in the bag or ringing stuff up to try to convince you of something you've said no to. So the first way you solve that, if you're a frontline worker, is you just take the no. They said no. Why would I keep pushing? Why would I annoy them? And the second way that you can resolve this is that you give the information up front. So, would you like to join our rewards program? No. Well, let me tell you all the benefits. Hey, I said no. And maybe some people do change their mind when they find out some little tidbit, like you can save 10%. But if that detail is important, start with the detail. And say something like, we remind everyone we have a rewards program. You get 10% off and coupons in the mail. Would you be interested in signing up? And then if they say no, you don't go, oh, but, and keep giving them irrelevant information after they've made their decision. And guess what? If I say no to signing up to your stupid rewards program and I don't get a coupon that I can only use for 1 week a year, 7 months from now, between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. on Tuesdays, I'm okay with that. I was so close to explaining to someone, and then I just didn't care, that I don't need your coupons. I don't need your little rewards program, because at some point it just becomes another thing in my life that I have to track or feel guilty about. Did I use those points from that hotel stay? Oh, what about the voucher I got when my plane was late for that trip 3 years ago? Did I ever cash it? Like, there's too much going on, and there are so many more important things than saving a few bucks on a pair of shoes. So, bit of a rant, but I wish this would become a cultural phenomenon and people would just learn to say no, hear that no, accept it, and move on. Because I'm not here to have a negotiation with you. And as I like to warn people, I was a nationally ranked debater for 3 years. You're not going to win. So stop trying.